$600 pension 10, 15 years ago won't buy much of anything here today.
And why the millennial generation is starting to give up because they can't afford to get a good job or own a house.
8 million Venezuelans voting for this assembly, saying it's actually less than 3.
It is. And people are going to start rioting in the streets.
Was reported to have asked Putin for military support that would help him stay in power.
We will make America safe again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
And they ignore him. And 8 more years goes by till Bernie himself finally admits to his sons, hey, I've been running a Ponzi scheme.
Does its dominance mean it can use the alliance for its own ends?
Since 1981, bond yields, also known as coupon rates, have just gone down and down and down.
The Federal Reserve note will be your biggest financial liability.
RTD Live Talk. Doing something different today. Thought I would attempt to do a midday stream and see who all is available and who's interested in chatting and find out what's going on in the middle of the day due to the fact that I haven't been regular with my videos. A lot of things going on, so I figure I'll try to suggest the idea of probably streaming a little bit earlier to find out who's interested and who can join us, and hopes of getting more people involved and in tune. So as always, won't be long today. Just want to share an article that caught my attention, and more importantly, find out what you guys have in your mind, as well as what's going on that might be going on right now from the mainstream standpoint or not, and let me know what's going on. So as always, stick to the same format. I want to welcome those who are tuning in. And so we got the Horror Breakdown, says, hi, Mike, the New York redneck. player, okay. 2000, hi, Mike James. You got Jera. Finally, I'm at work, but listening. Jera, I appreciate you tuning in, man. I definitely want to try something a little bit different, man. I figure I would try to do something earlier just because it's becoming more difficult to do the evenings, and so I'm not as regular as I would like to be. So going to see how this goes and see what you guys think, and if you guys want to do something earlier, I can try to make that possible. So Shane says, get your weight up. It says, Jamaica Randall just bought another 200 ounces of silver. Jamaica doing your thing, my friend. Getting heavy. Brian, it says, I watch YouTube all day at work. They don't care. Well, that's good. So definitely you can stay tuned in. And more importantly, Brian, if there's something on your mind or something that's newsworthy or something that's happening in your area that's worth sharing, definitely give me a call. The phone lines are open. 313-462-0027. We'd love to find out what's going on. We got Andy from Brooklyn. It says, Tehran, Iran, here. So 2000, are you located in the country of Iran? It says here, so I'm assuming that's where you're watching from. If you are, how are things in your neck of the woods? I am Huckleberry at work. Peter from Sydney, Australia. Well, I appreciate you guys tuning in. And so, as I mentioned, I haven't been regular. I think the last normal live stream was middle of last week. And so had this past break of Easter weekend and had a chance to just dial back a little bit. Yes, Iran. Okay. Yeah, man, 2000, watching us from the Middle East. Appreciate you for tuning in. You're in the capital. I appreciate that, man. Thanks for tuning in. I would love to. There's a YouTuber out there. I can't think of his name. Jamaica Randall. Thanks for that love contribution to the channel, my friend. I appreciate that. There's a YouTuber out there who's he's from like New Zealand, I think, and he's actually touring Iran. And, he makes it, the narrative he paints is so special. I would love to come visit, man. But unfortunately, I think because all that stuff, and Iran so far away. Yeah, yes, it is. That's the thing. Iran. That's the thing. Iran. I'm going to keep it at Iran. It's very far away. But yet the YouTuber, for you guys that are interested in hearing a different story other than what we're told here, I'm actually going to look for him and share that with you guys, because he's basically, it's like a travel vlog, but he's in the country going from like top to bottom. And definitely it's a place that I personally would love to go visit. But I think because of all the tensions between us and the Middle East is not likely. And so it's Indigo Traveler, and I'm actually let me grab his most latest video And so the currency exchange situation, from what he's explaining, is there's the official trading exchange rate for conversion from dollars to the what's the currency there? The real, Iranian real. I think it was it. Am I correct? Drawing a blank. But anyway, he was saying how different the exchange rates are. So even with the official exchange rate you're being told isn't the official one. So be careful. And so, not sure why I'm going on this tangent, but since we have someone tuning in from Iran, I thought I would definitely. So I'm going to put this video here in the chat. And so I would encourage you guys to check him out. I definitely enjoy watching his content. So it definitely gives you a much favorable and just a much better perspective of the country. So definitely, I think beyond mainstream media telling us how dangerous and how unsafe it is over there, he paints a different story. So definitely, yeah, hopefully one day we can have a chance to go over there. It says, everything good in the hood. Andy, appreciate you. It says, Peter says, Revolutionary Guards. Yeah, so the terrorists, yeah, the between sanctions and being labeled as terrorists, those two policies that we throw on nations and throw on countries, man, like are the reason why nations have so much monetary and economic problems. Because if you can't do any trades or whatever in and out of the country, or the nations you do business with will be sanctioned, I mean, that's unfortunate. So you're basically going to starve the people. And of course, think about all the wealth that's being lost because the currencies, especially those domestic currencies, aren't worth a dime other than inside the country. If there's no peg or no reserves to back those currencies up, yeah, people lose a lot of their purchasing power there. Low blood pressure. How you doing this afternoon, rather? So for those that are just tuning in, Seed of Israel, appreciate you tuning in. I've been listening since day one. I appreciate that, Mike. I keep seeing you on Silver Doctors. Low blood pressure. Yeah. So that's a part of the schedule change, because I'm working along with those guys, producing content. So I'm definitely trying to maneuver how to definitely continue to do great things here, but as well as assist with those guys. So I'm thinking about moving the late night to midday, give or take my availability, but yet want to be more consistent, just because I hate the fact that I'm not as consistent as I want to be, because I know a lot of people here enjoy the community aspect of being able to hang out and see what's going on, the real. And so as Shane, so definitely for those that are interested, definitely based upon thumbs up, thumbs down, let me know if you guys want to get together in the afternoon. And then in the evenings, I could do my little couch sessions where I just grab my phone, turn it sideways, and we can go back and forth as well. So definitely this spring, the weather's good. So I'm trying to plan a couple of things. Want to get out in the streets and help people understand the concept of getting their weight up. So a lot of things I want to do is just a matter of being able to prioritize it and get it going. So, but definitely let me guys know your thoughts on the afternoon, midday streams, because as always, the phone lines are open. I would love to hear some voices. So as I stated before, we bottom at $31.28, and like $1 and $10 and $100 and $1,000, we will never see 3,000 once we take off. Like now, hey Mike, Omni, yeah. So the bottom of Bitcoin. So it looks like Omni thinks this is going to be the rally of all rallies, or this could be the beginning of a bull trend. Which, if it is great. But if it's not, I'm still not mad, just because it's one of them things where, if you're involved in that particular asset class, there's always this feeling that you'll never have enough. Like, you might have some crumbs or whatever you might have, but you want more time. And so I'm not mad at, like I always say, I'm not mad at the manipulation. So if they want to slam it again, please do. Just because if you guys haven't heard, I guess Charlie Lee tweeted out that TD Ameritrade's new trading desk for cryptocurrencies has Bitcoin and Litecoin listed as the pairs for trading on the platform. So, of course, I imagine that plays into the spike as well. And so, we'll see how it goes. But once again, Omnibone, you're throwing out a prediction. I'm assuming that's a prediction of 100,000 Bitcoin by Christmas. Or could we hit that before then? I personally I really don't want to see 100,000 Bitcoin or at this current moment, just because once it gets to that point, it's going to create a hysteria of people wanting, and a lot of people rushing to acquire not knowing what they're getting into, because a lot of people, when it comes to just the space itself, are uneducated. And so they're going to just be rushing in, which will be good for those who are holding it. But for those that are new, there's going to be a slam down. And so if they come in at 20, 40, 50,000 and they end up, and that's definitely going to drop down to half, if not more than half, the next bull market, or I'm sorry, the bear market. So a lot of people are going to be very pissed. And because they're pissed, they're going to definitely, the mainstream media is going to come out and slam it. And so, yeah, just for the sake of other people, I'd rather people get educated first and incrementally acquire, not come in when the prices are already at peak. But that's just me. It says, still sticking to silver, low blood pressure. Can't go wrong with silver. Apart from the fact that, there's never a downfall to acquire something that's undervalued. And especially, I believe that silver is the most undervalued asset on the planet for a variety of reasons. Of course, we know the monetary properties of it, but just from a complete and deliberate attack against it from our mindsets, to where people don't realize that used to be the primary coinage. It used to be in coins. So that in of itself lets you know how important it used to be, and how important it could be once again, if there was ever interest to put it back in coins directly. Of course, the true value of it, face value, will never be equal, but it is what it is. But yet, holding silver can be very bulky. And so that's the whole idea of storage. I mean, how, what, where do you want to store it? That takes some definite planning. It says, I wish silver would skyrocket. I'm ready. No low blood pressure. You're not ready yet. I'm telling you, you want to acquire more, especially at these prices. There's no weight amount, in my opinion, that a person can say, I have enough. Even if you're a big, huge, bullion vault bank or whatever, I'm assuming because of when it does take off the way that people are anticipating, that means everything else that we've known as far as our monetary system has to change or will be changing. And so think about all the people who will not be in the position you're in to reap the benefits and rewards of transitioning to the new system with a different store of value. Because most people are still going to be clinging to paper, and unfortunately the digits that they say that they believe are in their bank accounts, and that's going to be very problematic. So I don't think people are going to be all excited as people around them crumble and fall and hit the streets, unfortunately. 2000, much love, Mike. Appreciate you. It says, nations are getting in through the central banks, and Wall Street is crawling in. South America about to make Bitcoin a primary currency, noting the way people are consuming. Yeah, Ami, and I think what is also interesting about South America is the fact that a lot of, other alternative coins that are more affordable right now to acquire whole coins are being utilized in the form of smart cash, Digibyte, Dash especially. So those are some coins that I think will be important. But we have a caller. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Mike, is Lennox. I'm calling you from North.
From North. How you doing? One sec. Let me cut my volume up so I can make sure I hear you. All right, go ahead for me. What's on your mind?
Yeah, you hear me good?
I can. Now, can you cut up your microphone volume just to make sure? Because I hear you, but I'm concerned if other people won't be able to hear you.
Well, you know me. I'm always calling my phone, so I got the volume up. I hope it's good enough.
All right, so watch this. Let me see, because it's all the way up on my end, and it's all the way up on your end, but it's still low. So let me try a different method. 1 second.
All right.
Because I don't want to miss out on a call. All right, let's try this again. All right, let's see how we do. So what's your name one more time and where you calling from?
Is Lennox calling from North.
Lennox from North. Okay, sounds good. I can hear you a little bit better. Yep, go ahead. What's on your mind tonight?
Yeah, Mike. Long story short, I wanted to get in contact with you, basically pertaining to the Caribars.
Okay. What's on your mind with that?
Well, I'm a member of Caribars myself.
Okay.
I've basically been a member with them for, I'll say, about 2 years now.
Okay.
And I bought, different products from them, the gold coins, the gold bars, and also the cards with the gold stamp on them.
Yeah.
But what I want to know is this. I'm seeing that carrot bar. I recently ran into somebody that was doing the same thing you're doing, selling the carrot bars.
Mm-hmm.
The
Cash Gold.
So I was trying to find out, like, is that something that's also redeemable on your taxes? Like, if you was doing it as a business, is gold, you could file it as your tax too?
File it as your tax too?
Yeah, well, I mean, just file it as your tax, like, you as an expense, because it's a business, from what I'm understanding. I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, so to my knowledge, it's on my site as just an ordinary product. And so it's new to me in that form of a product, and so I haven't come across anything that labels it any other thing than that. And so as time moves forward, I'm sure I'll find out more information. But as of now, it's just a normal product that I have listed on the site for those that are interested. So, of course, it's a product, so there's an expense on my part, and then there's a small margin between the price I sell it at. But it's just a normal product. I treat it just like the T-shirts I sell as well.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And my other question, I recently came back from a trip. I was over in Guyana.
Ooh, okay.
I know I owe you some of those dollars. I gotta get your email address so I can send you some of them so you can have those in your archive too.
Bet. I got you. Yeah, shoot me an email, man. I'll get you the P.O. box, and definitely I would love to, do a little investigation to those what are they called? Guyanese notes, or what's the name of those currencies?
Well, from the years I've been going down there, I just know them as the Guyanese currency, I guess the GT dollars,
GP dollar, okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar with them, but definitely got to do some studying up on it. So you down there like family from there, or you just vacationing, or what take you down that area?
Well, remember, my family is from Guyana.
Okay.
So a lot of the things that we do down there are basically family-wise, dealing with property and things of that nature,
Yeah, okay.
But outside of that, I mean, Guyana has always been a country that I always go to,
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a bad country,
Yeah.
Like I say again, they supposedly say it's the only English-speaking country in South America, which I know now in this modern day and age, there's probably more English-speaking countries, but it's the most mainstream English-speaking country,
Yeah. Now,
but
go ahead. No, go ahead. I got a question or two.
Not gonna say what you're saying.
No, so I remember watching a video about that particular, and I know it's very expensive from routing from Detroit down in that area there. So, cost of living there, is it more second world, third world? Or, I mean, is it extremely developed, or they have these certain areas that's underdeveloped, or what's the average hourly wage and monthly cost of living and stuff like that? Give us a little rundown.
All right. Well, look. Most government workers, and I could be wrong, but I know this for a fact. Most government, from who I know, most government workers, they probably bring in a month, probably close to 500.
Yeah.
Because you see, depending on what job you're doing,
yeah,
the pay isn't that great. But compared to in Guyana, that pay is sufficient enough, because I would say on the average day, if you can make 5,000 and 5,000, no, I would say 10,000, and 10,000 is $50 here. All right, if you can make 10,000 a day, that's pretty good. All right. So the simple fact,
10,000 a day converted to dollars is $50 a day.
Yeah, $50 a day.
$50 a day. Okay, so if you're making $50 a day, you say you're doing good.
You're doing good. You're doing well, not good, but I mean in the sense where as though you could survive.
Yeah. Now, so say for example, apartment, or what will be a two bedroom apartment, per month down there in a decent neighborhood, roughly.
You're probably looking spending U.S. wise. Look, one of my family members, they had rented a whole house, and they were renting a house for $50 a day. All right, That's like I say again, 10,000 a day. Now they were renting that home for, I would say, a couple. I would say what? I think it was maybe a month or so. No, less than a month, 3 weeks. I mean, of course, it add up if you were a U.S. citizen.
Yeah.
But a regular individual that's living down there, how can I put it? Because if you're not basically shacking in with somebody, or you basically have a home you're living in with someone else that has their own property.
Yeah.
I mean, it's rough. Don't get me wrong. It's rough for the culture down there. I mean, for the individuals down there.
Yeah.
If you don't have a job that's bringing in a pretty good stead of money,
yeah,
it's rough. You know.
Wow.
But I mean, look, like a regular apartment. I mean, a regular apartment a month, you're probably paying 150 US. You know, probably 150, close to 200 a month.
A month. Yeah, that's definitely you know, apart from I'm assuming the living standards, of course, down there. From the videos I've saw are definitely on some second world type status in the areas that I was watching the video in regards to. But I'm sure they have their nice areas there. But yeah, it's definitely something worth considering. I know it's just expensive to get there because I'm looking at flights, and it was like $1,600 or something like that for like a flight from like from Detroit, rather. I think it was a while ago. So got to check into that again, and definitely wouldn't mind doing a bid down there because I've never gone to that region of South America yet. So definitely, man. But hey, I appreciate you calling in and sharing what's going on in your world, man. I appreciate that.
Not a problem. All
right, be good, man.
Like I said, just one more thing. Whenever you feel like making a run,
yeah.
I mean, if you ever want to take a ride, I mean, a flight out there,
yeah.
Hey, just hit me up. I mean, we always got a place where you can stay at. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate
that, man. You don't have to be in a situation where you're there by yourself or you're there not knowing where to go.
Yeah.
You know?
Now, what city was your home base at?
Well, we're in Temeri.
Temeri
is, yeah. Depending on which airport you come in, Temeri is basically one of the areas where the main airport, Chedijagan Airport, is been.
Okay.
You got other places like what's the other one name? I forget that name. It's another one up the East Coast.
Yeah.
That's a more I would say it's not more developed than Chedijagan, but it's another international airport.
Okay.
But smaller airplanes going to there.
Okay.
But Chedijagan is where all the mainstream flights come from.
Okay. Good deal. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you as always, man, educating us on what's happening down there, man. So thanks for calling in. Enjoy the rest of your day, man.
No problem.
Appreciate you.
No problem, brother. You too. Later.
Yeah, man. Learn something. Always good to learn something midday. So yeah, for those that are watching and who might be joining us late, not sure how many people are even tuned in, but doing something different. Wanted to test and see if there's interest to do some live stream in the midday, just because I haven't been able to get to my normal format just due to a variety of things going on. So want to give it a try and see what happens. But let's get back to the chat a little bit. Missed a lot of things over here. Scroll back up. What's going on? I see 10,000 ounces of silver is pretty damn solid. 10,000 ounces of silver. It is. That's definitely a good amount of weight to hold on to for quite a while. And so, if you guys remember, I mentioned, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, about how in the alternative minded individual should look at the concept of retirement, if that is something that you believe you can enjoy at the standards that that the world has been able to live up until now. Because I believe that in the 5, 10, 15 years from now, that whole world might be different because of what's going to occur and what's happening right now. But we're taught to put a number on a certain amount that we need to have set aside or invested to grow and all that stuff like that, on top of other things, investments to produce cash flow, all that type of stuff. But a good way of positioning your mind for the days ahead, when you're no longer trusting in fiat currencies, would be, what's your retirement weight? And so, assuming that weight that you would set aside or look to set aside, however you choose to do so, when it's priced in fiat terms, which would be down the line, then you would be able to say, okay, you're sitting on X amount of weight at how many ever of the new dollars or the euro or whatever currency you might want to or exchange it for, to calculate how much you would want to have set aside to draw from if you had to cash in, say, 3 coins a week or 3 coins a month, depending on what the paper price is. So just something that I'm playing around with, and this is not advice, it's just my opinion, but coming up with your retirement weight, whether it be in silver or gold or whatever else alternatives you choose to use, might be something you guys just to play around with for fun. But I see a super chat, and I'm not sure exactly what that currency is. So DKK, so is that $129 or what? I'm not sure what that is. So 2000. Okay, so 129. Now, so 2000. Enlighten me. So is that in real, or is that what was it? How does that break down? Because I'm not sure what that is. Not sure what DKK means. So somebody put me on game there. But as always, 2000. I appreciate the contribution to the channel, and so I appreciate you for thinking about us over here. Says Peter says 50% of the U.S. population doesn't have 500,000 cash reserved. Peter, well, more than 50% may not even have $1,000. Nevertheless, 50,000. So there's an article that I was not able to comment on, but it was about it was giving some statistics based upon retirement, and out of 800, so I did do a video on it. About 800 people were surveyed of 55 and above, and only 11% actually had more than 20,000 or something like that in something that will be considered a savings. So yeah, like right now, like this current generation, baby boomers, millennials, Generation X, whoever we're talking about, majority of the people are in trouble. And that's why just meant what I mentioned earlier about the weight aspect. Like even thinking about, having 50,000 cash, if that is something that, a person has set aside, they can actually go get the cash, that's great. But, there's going to come a time where that 50,000 cash down the lines, especially if it's in dollars, may not really be something that will be, worth celebrating, especially if there's a currency issue, which, I believe is inevitable, one way or another. So, yeah, just the whole method of saving right now is something that we should question, because what exactly are you saving in? Like we know in the short term, I believe there's going to be some deflation, so there will be a need for currency. So there will be probably a little bit of a premium on currency until the monetary policy kicks in, where they started supplying the needs of more cash, which will then be problematic. So it's that, that how do you balance out, and what's your proportion of what do you need for now and moving ahead, which is going to all be questioned real soon, in my opinion. But that's just my 2 cents. It says, okay, so I'm going to show that low blood pressure. It says retirement weight. I'm not sure. So we got an article here from Forbes. Let's see what it's. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. So here's an article here someone shared, and I'll pop it up here on the screen. And so it says Social Security Trust tapped out by 2035. And there's actually a recent report that was given that talks about, I think it's from this actual report here, that mentions that as of, I think it was last year, the total return on the Social Security Trust Fund account, which is all denominated in U.S. debt, only yielded 2.8%. So however much money it was, only yield 2.8%, which is well below that 7, 8, 9 that is needed to actually have some type of compounding interest effect. So, yeah, man. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Mike. It's Victoria from Florida. How you doing, sweetheart?
I'm doing good, Victoria from Florida. What's on your mind this afternoon?
I just want to say hello to everybody out there that finally I got your thing today. Woohoo! Since I had to call in.
Mm-hmm.
What's on my mind? I think we got to keep stacking. That's what I think we got to do.
Yeah.
And we got to keep stacking food and water because you just never know what part of the country will be in crisis.
Yeah.
So, how's everybody out there? I haven't got no cryptos yet. I know. We talked about it the other day. I still got to work on it.
Yeah, education. Educate yourself. That would be mine. As I mentioned before, make sure you know what you're getting into because as I hinted at earlier, because prices are going up, a lot of people are getting all excited because this be the next rally, and you go out there and jump in something that you don't really know thoroughly, and you're going to regret it, and you're going to look around and say, I shouldn't have listened to them young folks or them people or whoever, to where, yeah, it's not going anywhere, but definitely educate yourself would be my 2 cents as always. So, but what else is on? What else is going on?
What do you think about the governments and the cryptos? Don't you think they're going to be pulling those in pretty soon as this market crashes, and they're going to say, oh, the reset, each government going to go with their own cryptos because we already know Russia already announced it last year. China, Turkey, India, yada, yada, yada. And then I heard something briefly last year in March about America. Which coin are they talking about for us?
I don't know exactly. I imagine there's some things that's in the work. I know the Federal Reserve is actually, they've invested in some studies and possibly might even have their own little rollout of something of that nature down the line, but there's nothing official other than just them allowing the buzz and the acceptance of cryptocurrency as a currency to be used until they feel like it's time to come up with something to try to make it illegal or tax it or whatever they choose to do excessively to deter people from using it, which could be sooner than we know or not quite sure how they're going to do this.
We're probably after the reset, right? After the crashes out, we go belly up.
Yeah, I'd imagine definitely people are utilizing that now to get out of fiat currencies, especially there's so many countries right now that are already having issues with their currency because of debt, because of whatever. So those nations are already running into it. And so we might be the last country to acknowledge it, but yet the worlds around us are definitely going to be using it because they're using it now because they're having issues. So right here in the land of the free and the privileged, we have the current reserve status for now, so there might not be much of a need for those that are not in the know as to what's really going on to get into it. So still might have some time, I believe.
Oh, yeah, we have plenty of time, I think, because we didn't, over the past manipulation, you know what I'm saying? I mean, many a times, anyone that's listening to this show and listens to the other shows already know that we should have problems.
Yeah.
So they're just keeping us up personally for whatever F thing, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to get you in trouble with
it's all good.
AI computers, you know what I'm saying? But everybody has an idea what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, because it's, certain words you're not supposed to say.
Right, right.
And I don't want to get you in trouble. But, for that things, then they're going to make it to a point where we're going to be, because you can see from the West Coast all the way to the East Coast events. Really? Seriously? Are we that stupid? They must think we're stupid, right?
I guess.
Can we just march over to Washington and say, hey, New York Fed, Chicago Fed, listen, guys, they're killing us over here. Please stop what you're doing.
Yeah.
Seriously, we need a boycott.
Yeah, I don't think they're going anywhere no time soon. So, but hey, Victoria, I appreciate you calling in, and as always, tuning in. It's always good to hear your voice. So thank you for calling in.
God bless, my love.
All right, have a good one.
Great day, everybody. Bye.
All right, baby. Yeah, man. Good stuff as always. Enjoying the back and forth. So let me see here. Keep things moving along. What's happening in the chat? And so another super chat from 2000, and it's 25 DKK. And so somebody, I'm trying to figure out exactly how much is that, and retirement weight equals 2 fat bastard from Austin Power 1 metric ton. Oh my goodness. Social Security, taxation is theft. Yeah, and that's the thing, the state of Social Security, taxation in general, those are subjects that have been talked about, ridiculed for decades, ever since the income tax was introduced right after the Federal Reserve started. People in general have become more and more dumbed down to the whole idea of taxation, whether it's illegal or not or whatever. So mentioning it still does no good, in my opinion. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Michael Paul, man. Karan from Chicago.
Karan from Chicago. How you doing, my friend? What's going on?
I'm all right. Hey, man, what do you think about Serena Williams and her investment in Coinbase?
I heard about it. Didn't really see anything from the news about it, but she's definitely, like a lot of other athletes, very in tuned. And so I'm imagining whoever her advisors are probably helping her to diversify some things, recognizing the trend is coming. So not surprised at all. And so was there any word as to how much or percentage wise or what, anything of that nature?
No, she actually didn't. She didn't invest in a particular coin. She invested in the company at large, which I think is a good move. So
yeah,
she any way it goes, you can't lose.
Right.
But the thing about it is, like you said, her advisors, man, her husband is the guy, man, I'm looking at, because her husband was actually the founder of Reddit. So he's a technology guy, man. So that's probably the guy, if anything, or people, behind him too. So
yeah,
I look at things like that, man.
Yeah.
And in like 10 years, they say, "Oh, Serena won big, man. I want to win big with her."
Yeah, for real. Now watch
I can't
this.
win Wimbledon with her, but I can win crypto with her.
Right,
You know what I mean?
That's
So,
a primary example of how the cryptocurrency and the block and all that whole technology sector is really gaining momentum because you have people investing in the infrastructure of it. And so she may not actually own coins directly, but she owns a company that's responsible for millions of people that's already currently involved and the millions to come. So she's basically she's betting on the fact that this thing will grow and she's going to be on the receiving end without even have to really risk directly working with the coins. So that's very smart. So imagine all the other big wigs that's putting into Coinbases and the BACs and the TD Ameritrades and all those other companies that are opening up the doors for more people to come in.
Exactly. And the last thing, one last thing, Mike,
Yep.
I think, man, Nipsey Hussle, man, the biggest loss in my eyes, man, one of the biggest loss is the fact that the influence that he had and the demographic he had to influence on, man, he was very, very heavy into crypto.
Yeah.
So when he right now, especially when when it's heating up, when the bull run starts, he'd be tweeting out and be a big influence, man. So
Really?
that was a big loss, man, because nothing replaces that. You know what I mean? So that's why I think about that too. So.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, Mike, man, keep doing what you're doing, man.
Appreciate you, man. Thanks for tuning in. So what are your thoughts on the afternoon streams, man? You think they'll go or no?
Oh, yeah, man. I think, hey, Mike, man, anytime we talking money, man, anytime we talking investments, anything that can better our future, man, I'm with it, man, 24/7, whatever.
I appreciate it, man. All right, good call in, man. Be good.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Good stuff. Yeah, man. And so that definitely, I remember I saw some type of draw up of Nipsey's some of the things he's invested in, and he had 3, 4, 5% in a blockchain-based company out of like Sweden or something like that, as well as some other things. So definitely, man, tragedy there. So it looks like some people did some calculations for me. So Patrick James says $19. So that's what that translates or converts to. So I appreciate you for that donation, my friend, as well as those that did the calculations. And so what else you guys said? Bitcoin up, silver went down. No sense to me. Yeah, but once again, whatever goes down, if you believe in it in the long term, wouldn't hurt to get a little bit more of it. Because I go back to my earlier statement, you can never have enough weight, especially when we're probably, it's even hard to really talk about what the next system or the new system because this current debt-based paradigm will not continue on. And speaking of which, let me share an article with you that kind of puts everything in place. And so when you see articles like this, and so here's something from Forbes. It says the world economy is a pyramid scheme, says Stephen Chu, an economist. And so if you actually read through this article here, he basically talks about how the world needs a new model of how to generate a rising standard of living that's not dependent on a pyramid scheme. So basically, at the end of the day, because of the increased cost of living and just the standard of living all being interconnected with debt. And of course, he talks about, the retiring system, the healthcare system, all those systems, the way they're currently set up, they're not built to last long term. And so he compares it to a Ponzi scheme, And so here's just some other things here, but it's interesting when Forbes talk about we're living in a pyramid scheme or a Ponzi scheme of a system. And so to segue on what I was talking about, with this Ponzi, this pyramid scheme, whatever this debt-based model, it's very unlikely that it can continue on without there being some type of acknowledgement of just the debt that is beyond repayable, like that. And so the debt itself, student loan. I mean, we got Elizabeth Warren talking about forgive the debt, but forgiving the debt that's for most of that is on either private corporations that lent that money out, or the government. So she's basically saying that we're going to just cancel this out, but you can't cancel out somebody else's asset. I mean, it's a liability sum, but asset to somebody else. So apart from the government taking an L, they don't mind just rolling it over, I'm sure, into some more bonds or something. But yeah, man. So there has to be a day of reckoning. So it's about credit, about get your weight up. You can never have enough weight. Especially whatever your retirement weight is. Yeah, right now, if silver dipped, if that's what you do it, in my opinion. But yeah, keeping things moving right along. It says, I wish silver would fall to $10 or below. Patrick James, if it fell that low, the premium on top of it would be $5. Because I would imagine a lot of dealers wouldn't really be selling at that current spot price, because everything in their inventory they acquired at 13, 14, 15. And so yeah, definitely you won't find any deals of $10 silver. It's going to be $10 spot price, and then it's going to be $4.99 premium type of thing, I would imagine, because who wants to sell at a loss? It says before 1 million % Bitcoin is not late. Be in before then. Yeah. So yeah, definitely it's not going anywhere. So getting in at any point will be worth your while, but just it's that equivalent of how much weight do you want? I mean, how much exposure to the cryptocurrency sector do you want? And is that your only, or are you going to have a couple things along with that, just to mitigate loss if you're wrong on betting that it's going to be the future entirely wise? So the world population is currently buying. Yeah, I don't doubt it. Spirit King says, you can never have enough weight. Say that to my doctor. Yeah, but you got to let them know what type of weight we're talking about here. We're talking about your retirement weight. What is your ideal retirement weight? And that's something that I think people, in my opinion, it'd be worthy of thinking about. And what denominations, but what, based upon the pillars of value, the video I did last, based upon the actual weight and how you want to separate it, whether you like junk silver, whether you like just 1 ounces, or if you're a high net worth individual, might want, some kilos, or, how much tonnage do you need depending on what you're trying to preserve. So it's all about wealth preservation for the next system, or whatever it's going to be called, or however it's going to operate. So those are things we should start thinking about. So I think I might, along with the get your weight up hashtag, I might start something like, what's your retirement weight? I think that'll get people's attention, because they'll be like, what do you mean retirement weight? And then I'm like, no, not your like physical weight, but your financial weight. What do you want to, how much do you want to have in the days ahead? If, say, for example, just talking crazy now. So you know how the Jim Sinclairs and the Bill Holters of the world talk about, if you really were to evaluate or to assess the value of an ounce of gold, Jim Sinclair once said like $50,000 an ounce. And so literally, if you were a person who had your weight, your retirement weight in 1 ounce coins, and you were sitting pretty heavy, and depending on, of course, the cost of living or whatnot, a good way of, like, how when you withdraw or you receive a payout for your pension or whatever, you get a certain amount of money per month sent to you or directly deposited. How much would you be willing to, coin wise? So if you had to like literally redeem those coins or turn in those coins, imagine when it comes to silver, maybe like 1/10 of an ounce of gold for your monthly expenditures. And if you were sitting heavy, several ounces of gold, then that 1/10 would be, peanuts. That would be your monthly whatever. And so if you're silver, I would imagine, I remember hearing that if you do the price valuations of a house in silver terms in the 50s or 60s, it was like maybe a 1,000 ounces would have bought you a house or something of that. It was something where I'm like, huh, really? So, I mean, how much silver, say if it'll say 5 ounces of silver a month to meet all your daily needs type of thing. Like that type of retirement weight is what I'm talking about. Of course, it's premature to, you know, to give it a dollar amount if we even are using dollars down in the line like that to determine the price of it, which I don't think we will. But that's just all things to play around with, which I think are good ways of getting people to think outside the box, because most people are talking about and thinking about a number. And here I want to start talking about weight. So that being the case, man, welcome to the new digital age. Very true. Very true. So let me see. I'm not even sure who all is tuning in. And so for all those that are watching, if you enjoy the back and forth, don't be afraid to donate a thumbs up to the channel. I appreciate it as always. Want to definitely do more live streams in the afternoon. And if time permits, do like a little couch talk where I just turn my phone on sideways and get connected that way and find out what's been going on for those that are not able to tune in now. But other than that, I enjoy, once again, just being able to hang out and kick with you guys. So don't be afraid to donate to a thumbs up to the channel. More importantly, for all those that have interest, there are some resources down below. Take advantage of them. And more importantly, be safe, be blessed, and we'll be back at it again. If I can get to it tonight, we do a couch talk. But if not, I'll try to get back here tomorrow. And so for those that are not aware, I'm also helping out with Silver Doctors. So tomorrow afternoon at noon, me and Paul Half Dollar will be doing a live stream over at silverdoctors.com. So make sure you guys, if you're not already, go subscribe there, because we do a lot of videos there. And so definitely look forward to really amping up the community building here and there. So other than that, people, be safe, be blessed, enjoy the rest of your day, and let's connect again sometime tonight or tomorrow. Peace.